Yo! This is Chop Up Hour with Fatt, man. I got this fucking cool guest with me today, man. Cool, super cool, man. I fuck with motherfuckers who interest me, who really interest me. This is what I do. I want to welcome him to the show, man, and y'all, we gonna get right to it. I got Miss Kiara, Key. Key, let's say Key.
Key.
Nice to meet you, Key, and thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Definitely, baby, definitely.
What's up?
Wow, this is super cool, man. So, Key, I had opportunity to look at some of your stuff on Instagram, man, and I'm impressed, man.
Thank you.
I'm impressed, man.
Thanks. That makes me feel really good. I've literally only been doing this for like a hot minute.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Thank you. Everybody says the same thing, and it makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I feel like a lot of my stuff is just kind of like early, I guess you could say.
Right,
in my career, like I know that in like another 6 months,
Gotcha.
I'm gonna look at my stuff now and be like,
Right.
You know?
Hey, well, let's tell the people what you do. She's a painter, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
She's a painter.
A visual artist. I use acrylic mainly as my medium, canvases of course, but I can pretty much paint on like.
When you say acrylic, that's a type of material paint or
acrylic paint, yeah.
Acrylic paint.
Yeah, so there's like water paints, there's like oil that you could use too. Acrylic for me is kind of like easier to manipulate, and I can use water in it to kind of get like certain effects too. So it's kind of cool because it's kind of all around.
What inspires your art?
Wow, a lot of different stuff. I guess I don't know. Some of the stuff just like really comes to me. But like recently, I don't know if you saw my very last post, but I did a black power fist with like
I saw it.
A really strong and inspirational quote inside of it, having to do with like, you know, all the racial injustice going on.
Right.
And that's definitely something that's been sitting heavy on me.
Right.
Just like everybody else pretty much, I'm
sure
in our
across the world, let's say.
Yeah, you know, so, and I don't really like to speak on it publicly on my page because a lot of people have their opinions about it, you know, not everybody's going to agree with my opinion.
Of course.
And I don't want that to kind of like ward people off.
Of course.
And, you know, coming on too strong too, kind of like, if you're trying to like educate somebody, if you come in a certain way or too strong,
yeah,
like,
you won't see no abrasive.
Exactly, and they're going to run away. So like, I don't really like to put my stance on it too much on my page. So this was the first thing that I did that actually was in my way of like vocalizing.
How long it took you to paint that piece?
It didn't take me very long, maybe 4 hours. I worked on it on and off. I didn't do it all in one sitting.
I see.
But maybe 4 hours. It didn't
so
take me
do
too
you
long.
start like when you manipulate these paintings? Do you stop and just get other ideas to add to it?
Sometimes I just have something stuck in my head, and if it's something that's not going to be like on a really big scale, then I'll just like stop and I'll do the sketch, right?
Okay.
And I'll like sketch it out on the canvas,
Okay.
and then the next free day that I have where I know I'm going to have like maybe 3 or 4 hours to work on it, I'll actually go and lay down the paint.
I see.
Or sometimes I'll start something and I know exactly what it's going to be, so like I'll just take whatever time that I have in my day. If I have a free hour, I'll sit down and I'll work on it for an hour, and then I might not get back to it till the next day or a couple of days later. It depends.
I did not cut you off, Key. I saw that one painting you did with the head split in the middle. What inspired that particular painting?
So actually, I'm happy that you asked about it because that was one of my very first paintings ever. And it's actually a part of my Afro astrology series.
I see.
So the name of it is Gemini.
I see.
It's supposed to be like a representation of the Gemini zodiac.
Is that your horoscope?
It's not mine specifically, but I just had the idea for it. I was like, damn, this would be a really good idea to do for a Gemini horoscope. So I did that one. I did another one that was for Taurus. So I'm planning on doing like the whole zodiac, and they're all gonna be black girls. So that kind of goes with the title of the Afro astrology.
So now that you said black girls, you would identify as a black girl.
I am, yeah. My dad is black. My dad's fully black from Miami. My mom is from Spain. She was born in Spain. Obviously, she has family in Spain. I also was born in Spain. So I'm half black, half white. Europeans are white.
So how long you been here?
I've been here since I was 2.
From 2?
Yeah.
So this all you know, really?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I definitely know my country very well. I
go back often?
Often, very often. Like maybe every other year.
Because I'm looking at some of your work, all your work kind of like Afrocentric work.
Yeah, that's also kind of a way that I use to kind of express my views towards the racial injustice that's happening right now too, without being so loud about it.
No doubt.
In a way, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of want to be obvious to the fact that, okay, she's very centered on, you know, what's going on today, right now. And that's kind of what I want my work to reflect.
Right.
In a way that's not in your face.
No doubt.
So that's kind of, and then also too, like, It's what I know. It's my community. You know what I'm saying? It's my family. Like I'm not. I don't know. I feel kind of strange, and not to take offense to anybody, but it just feels kind of strange, like sitting down and making a representation of something that I'm not surrounded by all the time. You know, like I live in a black community. My family majority, besides my mom, but my mom's family's in Spain. So you know.
I see.
So it's what I'm surrounded by. It's what I know. So I'm comfortable, you know.
It's pretty much like your heritage, basically.
Exactly. It's a culture. It's my culture, exactly. You know, and I'm really comfortable staying in that. Like, I don't know. It's just it's what I'm comfortable with.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Cause after looking over your page, I see most of your material is kind of based around. I did also notice the triangle. What with the eye in the middle? I know that's particular symbols on money. That's like Masonic.
Yeah, well, kind of. So that one was kind of towards the. I don't know if you know what the lucky eye is. What is it? Is it the lucky eye? Evil eye. The evil eye. Okay. No. So you know, you've ever seen somebody wearing those little bracelets with the blue beads with the little eye in
Right. I've seen like keep away spirits and things like that.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. It was a version of that, but also I'm very into like how do I say this? Energy, like natural energy, you know, from the earth itself and stuff. So there was also the moons on the top of that.
I saw that.
The moon cycle. So it kind of has like to tie in with like energy and good spirits, like you said, or good energy and things like that. So.
Right. What inspires your name? I noticed your name on IG was like Raja, or what was it?
So the name of my painting company?
Yes.
It's Save Our Skin. SOS. Okay, so it's kind of difficult to explain. I was trying to like think about a way of how I'm gonna explain it to you. So SOS, when you hear that, you automatically think of the saying "save our ship," right? Like SOS, like kind of like a distress, signal. And so a lot of people they use. It was originally when I was doing my tattoos. It was when I came up with that name. I just let it stick with my art.
Gotcha.
But a lot of people use tattoos and going to get tatted as like a therapy kind of almost in a way when they don't really have like a way to express themselves or when they're going through something. Me personally, I started getting tattoos to kind of avoid doing self-harm. When I was younger, I would kind of like, do a little self-harm, cut myself like on my legs here and there.
Was it attention or what was it?
No, it would actually be places where nobody would be able to see it. The feeling, it was kind of like when you feel numb when something happens or when you're like really going through something, it kind of helps you to like wake up when you feel, something physically, when you feel.
Man, you different.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. I haven't done that in a very long time, but part of it was because I started getting tattoos and it let me feel the sensation because tattoos hurt obviously, but also because you're a tattoo artist if you pick them carefully, of course.
No doubt.
Some people who just go to anybody, but if you pick your artist carefully, they can really provide like a therapy session for you.
Doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like it takes oftentimes at least 2 hours, sometimes even 6-8 hours to do something, and you're just sitting there with that person.
Right.
And a lot of times, I've had people cry at the end of tattoo sessions with me because I was doing a piece for them that meant a lot to them. And so that kind of is what inspired the name, to Save Our Skin. It's kind of like a distress signal, kind of like SOS, Save Our Ship, but like a twist on words.
No doubt.
With it.
No doubt. Let me ask you, what were you doing first? Were you painting first or tattooing? I'm assuming you were tattooing first.
I was tattooing first. I started tattooing about 10 years ago. It was when I did my very first tattoo. I did it on myself, on my ankle. The worst spot to do it in your first tattoo.
I heard.
Much less any tattoo. I don't know why I thought that would be a good spot. Anyway, it was very painful. But I did my first tattoo 10 years ago. And I stopped on and off. My family wasn't too keen on me chasing that because I was always somebody who's like all over the place. I never really knew what I like to do. Like I would do one thing and then move on to something else without finishing the last.
Right.
So they didn't have too much confidence in the idea that I was actually going to stick with it.
I see.
And I can understand that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Looking back at how I was, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can totally see why you felt that way because I was a mess. I was all over the place.
Right.
But finally, I tracked down an apprenticeship at Inkaholic in North Miami.
Okay.
And I was there for almost a year.
Just observing? You wasn't tattooing at that point?
I ended up tattooing after maybe like 3 months being there. Because I had experience from before. Usually an apprenticeship would take about a year before you can get behind the needle. But I had experience. I had a little tattoo studio inside my house. I had a whole room separated like from the entire house, and doing tattoos there is when I started. So I had a portfolio to show them. You know? So they knew that I knew my way around the needle.
I see.
So after a few.
Hey, well listen, I'm enjoying. I'm having a fucking great time. We're gonna be right back. This is a Chop Up Hour with Fatt, man. We got Kiki in the fucking building, nigga. We'll be right back. Yo, we back, man, with Kiki, man, the tattoo artist, the painter.
What's up?
Man, we finna get in deep with her, man, and see what exactly it is, man. Key, what's up, boo?
Let's go.
Shit, where do we start, man? You told me about the tattoo. You told me about learning the tattoo and interning in tattoos. Mm-hmm. So how did that lead to painting?
So with the pandemic, I'm sure a lot of people who now have, you know, their own brand going or their own business that they probably didn't think about before until we were forced to stay inside our houses.
No doubt.
You know, for months at a time. So it's kind of that same story for me. I actually have a friend, my best friend, her younger cousin. He was turning 15, and we couldn't do anything because of the quarantine. So we decided to do a drive-by parade thing. For him.
Yeah, everybody was doing something.
Yeah, and so I was like, damn, what can I do or what can I get him that's gonna be like cool, like what I can incorporate in the parade, you know what I'm saying, and also something that's gonna be, you know, special and memorable for him, even though it's gonna be a pretty shitty birthday. Right. So I was like, damn, you know what? Maybe. Let me try and paint a portrait. Let me try and paint my first portrait ever. Not my first painting. It was probably it was my first portrait. And I was like, you know what? I don't have anything to lose. If I don't like it, I just won't give it to him. If I do like it, then I'll give it to him, and then maybe other people will like it. So I did it. I ended up really loving it, and he loved it. And from there, it literally just exploded. Like, I have, thankfully, a lot of really supportive people in my life. Like your cameraman, he's the boyfriend of one of my closest friends.
Dope cat, man. Bossed up Chuck. Shout out to Bossed Up Chuck.
Shout out.
Fuck with that dude, man. Straight up, bitch ready. What's happening?
Yeah, so I have a lot of people in my life that's, you know, like him, that they see, you know, what my potential is, and they want to support in any way. And of course, they get in turn something that's beautiful that they can keep and keep in their family, and cherish.
Hey, I want to stop you. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Keith. When I said you bullshit me, I mean this for real. This girl can fucking paint, man. What's your page? What's your page where they can find you?
It is Hippie Gal Rasta. That's HIPPIEGYAL.Rasta.
One more time, man, just in case they missed it.
Hippie Gal Rasta. HIPPIEGYAL.Rasta. On Instagram. I also have what's supposed to be my professional page, which is Save Our Skin Studio. But I don't really post on there that much. It's just easier to manage one page.
No doubt.
It's easier for me to show my personality, which a lot of people like apparently. They like to, you know, be able to know the artist.
After one gander, I'm a fan.
Thank you.
One gander, that's all it took.
Yes.
Shit, man. I tell you that a lot of your work that I really resonated to. What I really first, when Chuck sent me a screenshot of your page, it was this girl blowing a bubble, man, and that picture really fucking done something to me. I'm gonna start with that one, and I got something else I want to ask you about, some other paintings on the reason, the why you did them the way you did them, because I noticed a lot of your artwork after that, I seen that was the same particular
theme, kind of.
Yeah, and I want to know exactly what inspired that, but the bubblegum girl blowing the bubble, what inspired that?
So that one specifically, and I would have brought it because I did 4 of those that day, and I was thinking about bringing the ones, but 2 of them are already sold, right? So that was one of them that sold. Thank you. That was kind of like one of my 90s babies pieces. So it is a Powerpuff Girl. I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay, so the Powerpuff
Little kids,
Girls,
right?
Right, yeah. So they're like little superheroes or whatever.
Right.
When I was a kid, you know, 90s babies all know about it, and I wanted to make her black, like. Awesomeness, but black. That's basically essentially everything that I'm trying to do. Like, okay, cool, let's take this and then make it black, because why not? Fuck, you know, like, you don't see representation. I'm really trying to like help normalize, and it's really sad that I have to say it like this about fucking race, just human beings, you know what I'm saying?
Speak on it.
But like trying to normalize seeing, you know, something like that and not be like, oh my god, it's a black girl, that's so awesome, because I can never find anything like this anywhere. I want it more to be like, yes, okay, cool, she's gonna make this, and now somebody else is gonna think about making things like that too, because we want to be able to be represented. No doubt. You know, so it's kind of like what I did, and then also it was just really cute.
Yeah.
You know,
I thought it was a dope piece, a super dope piece.
You.
Also, I see you don't really put a lot of eyes and mouths on your painting.
Yeah.
What? Why is that?
I don't really know. I feel like it just kind of gives it a. I've thought about why I do it too. Honestly, I think I just try and give it like an aesthetic in a way that is. It makes you think, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, like you see something that's out of the norm, like it's
paints a broader picture. I think.
Yes, yeah.
Because then when you put faces, then you gotta put feeling in the faces.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's gotta, you know, people wonder, okay, well, is that somebody you know? Is that supposed to be a self-portrait? You know, stuff like that. And it's like, not really. It's just it's there it's a body to make you know think on the entire piece as a whole. And so it's just kind of made to make your brain work.
I see, but I also noticed too in some of your paintings too. When I went further down the line, you went to your culture a little bit too, original culture from where your mom from, right? Your mom.
Spain, yeah.
Yeah, I see some of your pictures started to change a little bit.
So actually, those came from commissions that I've been asked for. It was somebody's idea to actually do like the two nationality kind of combination thing, and it caught on like freaking wildfire. People love the idea of, you know, like having a love piece. Usually it's, you know, for husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend.
Right.
And kind of like the combination of their cultures in one. My favorite one that I did like that was actually the one, and it had like a little Afro baby in the middle between them.
I've seen it.
That was, I loved when they came to me with that idea. I was like, damn, that's a dope, you know, concept or whatever. But people really, really love it. I was gonna say for some reason, but it's not for some reason. I mean, it's pretty.
It's power.
Yeah.
It's so power. Family. You know?
Exactly. So that is one of my more popular pieces actually to do, and it came from a commission. It wasn't even something out of my own brain, even though I'm the one obviously who put it together.
Right. So if you want to manipulate these pictures that are, let's say, famous, like that's more people more gravitate to. Do you take a picture of them yourself that way you can always go back to them and paint them again if you needed to?
Yeah, I definitely take pictures of all of my stuff. I'm working on getting them all scanned before I send them off, so that way I can make prints. For people who don't really like I don't know, who wouldn't actually want an actual like original canvas, you know what I'm saying? But of course they're kind of pricey, you know, sometimes. So I also want to have, you know, a little bit more of an affordable option to put some art pieces in people's homes and offer prints. So I'm gonna start actually scanning them too. But yes, I do take pictures of everything just in case somebody sees it and like, oh, can I have this, but like this way, or you know, with a twist or customized or whichever. Yeah, but by now actually, like my brain already has it. Like once I paint something, if I have to do it again, it's really easy. I just like go.
On a low scale, as far as time frame, what's the fastest a painting could be completed?
It really depends on the size and what's being done. So for portraits, like if it's a single portrait, but on my schedule, I get 3 days out of the week where I just get to work because I have 2 little boys, and so those 3 days their dad takes them so that I can actually work on my work. So if I was able to have like 5 or 7 days out of the week, a portrait would probably take me a week or less. But on my schedule that I'm on now, it'll probably take me just like about 2 weeks. Also because I'm usually working on stuff in between too, like my own stuff or somebody else's. You know, I'll work on like maybe 2 or 3 pieces at a time. So it really just depends. So a portrait could take 1 to 2 weeks. Something that I'm just doing out of my brain, I can do it in a day. You know, if I have like a full day to just do it and I'm just feeling creative, I can knock it out really fast.
So, you watched the episode on Good Times when the lady wanted JJ to paint a live still of her when she was sitting on you probably ain't seen that episode. No,
you know what? You gonna put my black card right now because I don't really watch Good Times.
Get the fuck out of here. Hey, he was a painter. JJ, they perpetuated him as a painter. But he wasn't really a painter, but you know the painter that, I don't know the guy's name. I hate this that it slips me right now, but the guy that actually painted. When you get a chance to check the show out, it's a guy, a famous painter. That all the paintings that they said that he was painting is a big time painter back in that era in the 70s. But he made all his bodies long for whatever reason. Like they had one particular paint that I really loved. They was at like a billiards. It was like a bunch of guys at this billiards table, and the way he had the bodies. The guy's bodies
like elongated.
Across the table with the pool sticks. It was just dope.
Perspective.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't think of the guy's name, slips him right now. But You should check it out when you get a chance. Some of his work, he got a lot of great work out there right now too.
Yeah. I definitely love being inspired, you know, by other artists. I try and be really careful not to
mimic.
Yes, and just be inspired.
Great point.
It's just it's a little bit difficult, but by now it's easy for me to kind of get my own ideas of stuff. Before, I always had to be able to see something in order to get an idea. Always, I would have Pinterest was like the first thing on my phone. All
you got away from that though, right?
I did. Now, I mean, I definitely still use Pinterest, but more so specifically just for inspiration. Like, I will never like actually see something and then
try to copy
like, okay, I'm gonna do a version of this.
Yeah.
It's never like that. I look at it and I'm like, okay, how can I make this mine? Or how can I like this idea? I like this concept.
Right.
What can I do with it? And then so I'll look at like a million other things and kind of just like put a combination of things that inspire me together in one thing.
Right.
So.
Hey, listen, we fucking here with Kiki, man. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. We'll be right back. This is Chop Up Hour with Kiki. Fuck with us, man. Yo, we back with the Chop Up Hour with Fatt, man. We in the building with Key, man. We finna get to the rest of the things that she's bringing to the table, man. It's been an interesting interview, man. I want to thank her again for coming.
Of course, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Key, man. We done talked about your painting. We done talked about your tattooing.
Yeah.
We
can talk. Okay, let's talk about maybe how fucking hard it is to be a female in the tattoo industry.
Oh my god.
Because like, I'm sure, okay, like not a lot of people think about the fact that it's a male-dominated industry. I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of rare to come across a female tattoo artist. When I used to come across artists before I was tattooing, I would get dumb excited.
Right.
Like, oh my god, yes, I want her. I don't care what her work looks like, but I want her because she's a girl and that's just it. So it's pretty cool because when I was in the shop, it gave me an appeal to people.
Right.
You don't see a lot of female artists.
Right.
But it's so misogynistic.
I bet you.
Yo, like the kind of like shit that people would talk about with me and around me and like towards me. Like if I was easily offended, it would definitely.
That was my next question. Did you get offended at times?
No, I'm not a person who gets easily offended at all, ever.
Got thick skin.
Yeah, I mean, not that I have thick skin. I don't take people's intentions. I take people's intentions as how I see that they're trying to portray them. Like even if it might not come out that way, I can see that their intention was not to be offensive or hurtful or stuff like that. So I go about it that way. Like if I can see that you're trying to be offensive or hurtful, I'm gonna stop you right there and be like, look, like that's not gonna work.
I like the eyebrow too.
Oh, thanks.
Dope. That's dope. I see you big on piercings too.
Yeah, I've had like so many piercings. Oh my god, especially working in a tattoo shop.
Right.
One of my other coworkers was also an apprentice, but he was an apprentice for piercings, and eventually he needed a guinea pig.
Okay. Free work.
Free work, of course. That was also the best part of working in a tattoo shop. You get free artwork, you get free piercings, you get to hang out with a fucking bunch of really cool ass people all day.
Right.
That are like little kids. We would fucking skateboard around the shop and shit, throw darts at each other.
What's the name of the shop you was working at?
It was Inkaholic, North Miami.
Inkaholic, North Miami.
Yeah, they're also pretty cool. I still have a lot of people who I really care about there. So if you guys are interested in some artwork, I'm not tattooing right now, so I'm going to send you all over to Inkaholic.
Shout out
North
Inkaholic,
Miami.
man.
For piercings or tattoos, I definitely have a lot of people that I trust there that I will send you to for some awesome work.
Damn, man. Hey, listen. I appreciate you coming through.
For sure.
This is one of my dopest interviews today.
I'm happy.
I gotta say, I feel like we captured a lot of moments with you, and I appreciate you coming through.
Cool, thank you. I wanted to tell everybody, y'all vote, please. Okay, get this man out of office. I don't care how you feel about Trump. I really hope that you don't feel positively about him. If you do, fuck you. And
straight out.
Go fucking vote that nigga out of office because I'm tired of the shit.
Straight up, man.
And hopefully y'all are too.
We done with it. We'll throw him back to the wolves.
That might be the last thing that I have to say.
Hey, man. Well, tell the people how they can find you.
Hippiegal Rasta, HIPPIEGYAL.Rasta on Instagram. Also on Twitter is the same thing. And my website is www.saveourskinstudio.com. There you can find original artwork that is up for sale, which I have quite a few now. And you can book a custom commission, or you can just go and take a look at the awesome fucking tattoos that I've done so far.
Man, look here. We're the fucking building. This is a Chop Up Hour with Fatt, man. Dope artist, Key, artist, tattoo artist, painting artist, Y'all fuck with her, man. This has been another cool episode of the fucking Chop Up Hour. Y'all fuck with us, man. That's what's that. Like and share.